Chris Watkin back again at the Propertymark 2021 conference, and I'm joined by Melissa York, who is the Deputy Property Editor for The Times. Melissa, what are your thoughts on the proposed renters reform bill, especially lifetime deposits and the removal of Section 21?
Yes, the removal of Section 21 is the hot potato in that bill. There's no doubt about it. It's become a really kind of toxic piece of legislation. And, you know, this is because I think there's been a lot of miscommunication between landlords and tenants. So essentially there's been a breakdown there where I think that landlords, because of the reasons that we've discussed before, going through the courts is incredibly difficult whenever they want to kind of get hold of their properties to sell or just to move back into or anything else. And it's an incredibly drawn out and complicated process. So they've used Section 21 because it's easier and quicker. It's not what it was intended for as a piece of legislation. So I think tenants feel rightly aggrieved by that, and there's been that breakdown in trust. So I think it's abolishing it. Abolish it by all means, but you'd also have to replace it with strengthened grounds, legal grounds to move back into your property. Those grounds are massively out of date and Schedule 2. And also have another look at Section 8 as well, because it takes a very long time. So that's definitely that is going to be a hot potato, trying to get that balance between landlord and tenants exactly right to please both parties. I think the other thing as well, the lifetime deposits, I think they're pretty, universally seen as a really good idea, actually, and that we've got the technology to do it. It simplifies moving from one property to another. When you're having to pay removals costs, finding £1,700, which is the average deposit in London every time you need to move, is very unaffordable for lots of people.
But how are we going to protect the landlord of the first property before the deposit gets moved across?
Yeah, and this is it. And if you're in dispute as well over that deposit, that draws it out even longer. You've also got all these other complicated things, like overlaps in tenancies, for instance. What's going to happen in that? What happens if you go abroad for a couple of months and come back again? What do you need somewhere to go and put it in trust or something? Or do you get it back or do you not? All that kind of stuff is really, really difficult. During COVID, we had lots of young professionals that moved back in with their families. I mean, what happens then? So it's a very, very complicated scheme once you start looking at it in detail. That's not to say it can't be done. That's not to say we shouldn't be ambitious with the legislation.
Thank you for your time today.